Welcome to my energy update, and I am reporting live and direct, as I say, from London. I am now finished my Tablets of Light group in Avalon, which is why I've been so quiet on YouTube. Now just coming up for air on this Virgo New Moon, because this is what this video is all about. And I have to show you, like, it's like the chaos and the calm. The planes are flying overhead. Welcome to London. The buses and the taxis are flying past, so that's the chaos. But the calm is right here in me and my video. But check this out. For those of you that haven't been to London, this is my rooftop. How moody these skies look. It's cool, eh? You know, anyway, if none of you have seen a traditional London red bus, there it is. Can you see? So this is London Clapham, okay? And for those of you that have watched Mary Poppins, it's very indicative of jumping on over rooftops, and yeah, all of the magic of Mary Poppins is definitely in London. If you grew up on that when you were a child. If you didn't, then you don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, let's get into the energy update, right? So Virgo New Moon, right? So Virgo is very organized, isn't it, in its energy? I'm married to a Virgo. They're very intellectual minds. They love everything. There's always the pursuit of perfectionism with a Virgo. And that's what that moon is kind of like, can be in the shadow of. You can actually start to get in your head a little bit too much. Or if you're really in the light side of Virgo, that means your systems that you put in place, which is very divine masculine, is going to marry a divine feminine beautifully. And the two are going to come together. But isn't that always the trick and the tightrope of being able to walk a certain frequency without going into the shadow of it? That's mastery. Okay, so if you find yourself kind of like stuck in your head, Virgo's got hold of you. And that's what happened to me this week on the run up to Virgo New Moon. Is I got really in my head and I started to get locked in that prison, but I was aware of it. And then today I woke up and I just feel like it's all washed away. But anyway, I'm going to share with you my notes that I've taken actually over this past week. It's layered. And it's almost like my journal I'm reading from right here about what I feel is the medicine that's come in with this Virgo New Moon and where we're going to go with it, right? So let's get into it, as they say. Right. So the new moon in Virgo is going to ask you questions about your organization in your life, meaning how you're questions to do with the physical body. How are you feeding it? Are you, how's your well-being? How's your fitness, your well-being, all that kind of thing? It's a thing. We've been working for months now, for those of you that have been following on the channel, with Hathel, to do with coming into the physical body, enjoying life, squeezing the juice out of it, which is why it was juicy July. We've now moved into victorious August, and we're kind of like really embracing and embodying the Lionsgate energies, and really coming into that living, breathing version of self, whereby we are so balanced. You've tapped into the stars, you've tapped into the underworld, you're in the middle world, you're living here because this is the only place you can physically manifest and enjoy the juice and squeeze the juice, only in the middle world. So we have to make peace with our physical bodies, and it has to work for us. So you're going to find the support of the Virgo New Moon coming in and really kind of like embellishing what we've already been working on, assisting us and helping us and guiding us onto how to live harmoniously in our physical body, how to live life, and bring ceremony into everything that we do. So all of a sudden, like for quite a long time, if not even lifetimes, we've had this separation of just like, well, there's ceremony and there's life. And this is the thing about my groups and everything like that. And I even said it on this group, that when the ceremony or the group tour, so if we're in Egypt or we're Avalon, the day we finish, the hard work wasn't actually us being together and being in that sacred vessel of a Tablets of Light group. It is when you go home that you are now going to be challenged to go, right, all that download and insight and guidance you've got, can you apply it in your physical life? Because that is the magic, being able to weave such a sacred high vibe timeline into your everyday life, because your everyday life needs to be that sacred high vibe timeline. So that's what's coming in right now. We got to kind of make it work, and we got to bring it in as one. And the two worlds will meet, heaven on earth, right? Because remember, we are the chosen, right? Those that are in my tribe, we are the chosen. That's why we've died so much. I've done a video on that. And it's like, understanding that we are the bridges, that we walk between worlds. So we are here placing in the infrastructure to help others remember that. And that is part of our job as a community and a tribe, and a pride, that I know that my family, as it were, we've all got the same consciousness codes, which is basically the Christos codes. And the Christos codes, we're bridge keepers. It's very, very difficult to be a bridge sometimes, because we have to make peace with being that bridge, because sometimes it's really fucking hard, because to be the bridge, we have to our bridge has fallen down many times, and we've had to get up and rebuild it again. And it fell down again, and then we had to go and build it again and find out what went wrong, because we have to make peace with being the bridge. And now I think that we're at this place of solidarity where we're getting really, really comfortable with who we be, because we're now making peace with coming into this Middle Earth timeline, and we've merged all the worlds. Heaven is now on Earth, Underworld is now also in Middle Earth, and we're able to move freely between them, not run away from one of those realms. You know what I mean? Stars is easy to buzz up there. Nobody wanted to come into land. Then we went into the underworld. Didn't want to go down there kicking and screaming. Didn't want to face our shadow. We faced our shadow. We're now not scared of the boogeyman. He's not real. We're quite comforted by the dark now, and know that that's when it gives us rest and respite. So now when we come into the middle world, that's a combination of the two worlds coming together here. That's where the magic ignites, in this world. So if you're still in avoidance of coming into land, your Virgo new moon is going to be very resistive. You're probably going to be very in your head. You're going to feel that you are resisting so much. So ask yourself, what is in resistance? Why don't you want to come in here? What's going on? Is it a fear of ... Because it always comes from a place of fear. Plain. So now let me go through my notes, right? This is another thing which the Virgo energy will spur in you, okay? Again, it's that fine tightrope line, okay? So you can, I mean, I love researching, I love reading books, and I haven't written, but I'm finding it hard to read books at the moment, because I'm kind of sick and tired of remembering and learning, because I do know that everything inside of me is available to me now, and anything I don't know, my guides will bring to me, or my higher self. So there's a peacefulness in that. However, prior to that, exhausting myself with courses, workshops, learning, needing to know more, needing to diarize and note everything, go into a group. I need to write 6 bloody million journals before I hold a group. I don't do that anymore. Do you know what I mean? I just turn up, it'll be all right on the night, turn up, lights, camera, action, download comes in, and I'm in that present moment, and that's how I hold my groups now. So this is the difference, right? Everything inside of you, you have. Absolutely everything, and it is a distraction, and it's getting in the way of you if you are going out there thinking you don't have what you need, because everything now at this stage of the game, this stage of evolution, everything is downloaded into your DNA. Toth put it there. Whoever you work with, you'll have an understanding of that your DNA was encoded much the same as your Earth Star chakra. It has the coordinates as to where you've got to go, where you need to go at the right time. Why do you think you just wake up one morning and go, shit, I need to go to India? It's got to happen. It's because your codes that have been down, your whole mission is downloaded into your Earth Star chakra. So when it's time to go, that will go wait, and you just find yourself moving or going somewhere. So we have this internal map and compass GPS that have been encoded into our DNA, into our chakras, that we don't need to worry about a thing. But when we deny that and we go into wanting to learn and study more through a place of fear, because we don't think we know enough, then that's going to get in the way, and it's going to slow your process down. If you are learning it because it's coming from ... joy, that's completely different, right? That you're just enjoying the gig, and you're just on your game. There's some stuff that I've signed up for now, which I'm I think I'd really enjoy studying that. That could be a vibe, but I'm not coming at it from a place of I need to know that because in my next group no, I'm not doing that. Everything I have is within me, and that is a very, very, very powerful thing that Spirit wants us to know now, so we don't slow our processes down, right? Boundaries, okay? Boundaries is a big thing. Boundaries basically lead to support. Support leads for boundaries, and the two just feed in with each other. And if you put those two together, remember alchemical formulas are intention plus action equals creation. You can also put any 3 thing in that, meaning boundaries plus support equals growth or transformation, right? So there's always a 3-fold formula with everything that we do. And for me, before I went into Avalon, I understood that support or perceived lack of support was a big thing. I haven't seen my husband for 4 months. I'm seeing him tomorrow. He's flying into London. Bar a couple of weeks, I haven't seen him for 4 months. It's the longest we've been away from each other. We have tried to be with each other, not happening. He said to me, I said to him, maybe we're not supposed to be together for this time, because he's been through a terrible time, so have I, and I was angry at him and he was angry at me for not each other being there for each other, but we couldn't. So if that's not available to us out there, then what else have we got? Our own internal relationship with the support that we give ourselves. That's our own divine masculine within, right? That is like, yeah, that is really, really important that we draw that support from within us, because this is another thing of the Virgo moon, which is highlighting ever such a lot, and I cannot emphasize this enough, the need for external validation, right? It's collapsing. There's no room for performance. This is all about authenticity. There's no room for anything else. Performance, inauthenticity, masks, not a thing, right? Authenticity, truth, honesty with oneself is all you've got left now, which is basically the gateway and the portal to the next level, right? So when you are performing, you are basically, probably, most likely, you don't have a strong sense of support within you, so you need to get it from others, so you can be whatever you want them to be, or they want you to be rather, so you can basically get a like or a subscribe or whatever. And social media is a big thing for this. In fact, social media is a big teacher, because it has the shadow and the light. So we can put our content out there, and we can just basically, live our life of who's liked us that day or subscribe or whatever, and that fills our cup. But what about if, that cup needs to be filled from within? What about if you felt amazing anyway, even without that subscription or 6 million followers or whatever it might be? It's like, I believe social media has come here to teach us big things, because that's basically the place that we do look for external validation. Do you know what I mean? So now it crosses over that social media should be a place and a support and a platform for you to share your creativity with the world. That's the way I look at it. I'm like, wow, I have an audience out there. Not that I mind if I got like 2 likes, because the thing is, what's getting more important to me now is the fact that I was able to create a video and it had a purpose to go out there. So in a way, what I'm trying to say is create for creation's sake. Don't create for an agenda, right? Because the thing is, if you take value, and listen, like, roll with me here, if you take value off the whatever it is that you're doing, and this sounds crazy, I know, but if you take value off what you're doing, then all of a sudden it propels you into just being a creator. And I got that message from Ma'at and Keridwin, actually, and that's where the Temple Classroom was born from, because I'm a creator and I just want to create, and I want to have a platform to do that. So they said take the value off, which is why it's a free classroom space, because my exchange is you guys turning up and receiving what I'm putting out there, and the wheel turns. Do you know what I mean? And it's one of my most favorite times to be able to do the temple. I love it. I absolutely love it. I get a chance to just share all the marine madness and magic. Do you know what I mean? I love it, so that's my return. So gold coins are not necessarily the thing that we should be doing here, or subscriptions or likes or things like that. It's down to you to actually cultivate that inner passion to just create and do it anyway. Because the thing is, once you do that, you'll get received anyway. Do you know what I mean? So this is very much what the Virgo moon is highlighting. Where do you seek outside validation? Where are you still pulling from other people, places, or situations to fill your cup? You have to fill your cup. Once that is tapped into and you receive that support within, imagine no one can take that away from you again, ever. You are 150% solid, right? So now, boundaries and support. Yeah, no is a whole sentence, right? And this is what's happening more and more. We're now realizing that if we don't have the boundaries in place and we don't give our sacred no to certain things we've been saying yes to, then what happens is it slows our whole process down. You know what I mean? And then what happens is, basically, by you saying yes, you feel repressed by your emotions, because you're like, I really don't want to do this. And then what happens is you don't speak up and it gets trapped in your body. And then you suffer as a result of not putting that boundary in. No one else. Just put the fucking boundary in. You know what I mean? Just put it there, and then all of a sudden that will be the gateway and the pathway to your support. When I got to Avalon, I was so supported. Oh my goodness. I looked around. Every single thing I looked at, I was like, that flower's supporting me. That woman's supporting me. That man who just picked up my pen because I dropped it off the floor, he's supporting me. And in every situation now, instead of me being in the lack, I will look at it and go, how's this situation supporting me? Because it's in there. Changing your perspective. Very Virgo, very mind, very principle of mentalism, right? So now, I hope you're keeping up with this, because there's a lot, right? So now, okay, how to hold your light in a selfish world, right? Oh, isn't that a statement, right? So old emotions are going to be coming up now, right? So this is the thing, okay? When I was in my group, I basically said to everyone, be very, very aware and ready for the chaos that's going to ensue when you leave the group and you step into your life. That's almost like the trial by fire, to be able to weave the two worlds together, but to sit in such a high vibrational space and get taken out when you come back to your everyday life. Then yeah, kind of like you've dropped the ball a little bit. You need to weave the two worlds together so you can actually take that heaven into your earth, right? So what happens now is like so many questions, even myself has asked about this. Why am I still up with the same flipping problem? Why am I still feeling a certain type of way? Why am I being triggered with the same energy? And what it is basically that energy will still run. Remember with the chaos and the calm? We've worked on that extensively. We've now accepted, embraced, embodied the fact that that's our life here on earth, that we shouldn't sit there and go, well, to be a spiritual tapped in person, we've got to be devoid of chaos. No, it's actually having the chaos tells you that you're alive and well, right? Because without that balance, then you're not doing anything. It's not a Disney movie. It's never going to be like that. But you find flow in everything. That is why we are masters. We've come here to gain mastery over the human experience, right? So we can't gain mastery unless the chaos is there. So now, old shadow, old shit, old belief systems coming back, right? It comes and revisits you again. Now, it's supposed to, because you need to now observe and really come into yourself as to how well you're holding your light, how much more centered you are now this situation has arisen and come back to you again, you know, and that is the mastery. So that situation and that kind of drama is never going to stop coming at you, bro. But the thing is, can you hold your center so you're just aware of it and it moves around you? Right? Had the same thing, had big issues back at home in my house in Cape Town to do with my cats. People just can't stop feeding my cats and they like to steal my Maine Coons, and we've already lost one to a neighbor, and then another neighbor tried to do it, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this. And before I would have been distraught, beside myself and all the rest of it, and I just let go and let God. And I was like, well, if the cat's meant to go, the cat's meant to go. If she needs to take my cat, well, that's so be it. But I'm not losing my peace over this. And I just let it go. Happier. Don't know where my cat is, but you know what? I trust that everything will be fine. But the point is I didn't lose my shit. I didn't let it take me over. I didn't start to feel unsafe or scared because I wasn't in control of the situation in Cape Town. Not doing that anymore. So I maintained my calm and my peace, and everything will come right, you know, and I trust. And that's a lot of what this is all about, trust and faith, right? So now, next one. The chaos will come. Can you hold your light? We've just spoken about that. You are the main character of your situation now, right? You are the main character, which kind of like dovetails off the back of the piece I was just saying. You know, Virgo is going to kind of test you with this, because Virgo is very much to do with the mind. So you've got to fine line it, that you don't go too much into the control aspect, and you know what I mean, and the pursuit of perfectionism, because it doesn't exist. But it's like you've got to be careful of that. But when Virgo's in its sweet spot, it's going to be a powerful, solid divine masculine to hold your divine feminine, and these two need to trust each other now because they haven't. So allow that balance to come in, where the masculine can find himself in the perfect position for the divine feminine, and vice versa, right? And that's what's happening. That's the energy that we anchored when we were in Avalon. It was all about divine masculine and feminine. It was incredibly powerful, and that's the balance we're coming into, which kind of taps into everything I'm sharing here: the chaos and the calm, the boundaries and support, you know what I mean, you know, equals growth, you know, all of these things. So this is your movie, remember? So you're going to be constant. I mean, think about it. You don't just go and do one test at university and they go, okay, you're good to go. They're going to constantly test you over the next 1, 2, 3, 4 years, whatever, because they're going to refine your expertise and your mastery in that chosen field of expertise, right? You're not just going to do one test. You're going to refine it. Life's the same. So if you're struggling, it's because you expect that your life should be free from chaos, and it's like, that's not the answer. You are needing to go inward and trust yourself more and connect with your inner magic to be able to hold yourself in a world that is chaotic, right? That's the gig, that's the deal, right? So distractions, so many distractions, drama, conversations, anything that's going to rob you of your peace, basically. You know what I mean? Just like anything like that, check it, look at it. Do I need to get involved in this, even though you've just really pissed me off? Is this something that I want to run with? Do you know what I mean? Or is my peace more important to me than this chaos, right? Because that's what it boils down to. And then you just check yourself and you pull yourself back in, and then it realigns, right? So this really is about mastery. Also, the Virgo moon is about, there's a lot with this moon, family and unity. Interestingly enough, my husband was flying in tomorrow, my kids are here, and for the first time in a very long time, we are going to be together, spending some time together. And yeah, there's a lot of change in this family, and we need to reorganize, Virgo moon, the structure of how it's going to look. So lots of family stuff, family dynamics. It may be good, it may be intense, but either way, if there's something shitty going on within your family or something unpreferred, it's because the energy is calling to be realigned, right? So rather step back from this video, look at it and just go, right, okay, what's needed here for the highest level of my good and the good of others, you know, rather than getting caught up in the drama, right? Because your family is repairing itself and then it will be exactly what it will be. So even if it's a family fight that is not getting on and you can't see the good in this, releasing it and letting go and allowing it to be dysfunctional is finding the peace in that, right? Trying to fix it and make it Disney princess, it's not going to work, right? So it's actually about finding the peace in the chaos, right? Which is, how is it going to work for you? Because remember, it's all about you. You're the main character in your movie, right? How is it going to work for you? It's not selfish, it is responsible, okay, for you to actually check yourself and go, what's it going to do for me, right? How am I going to live a higher timeline life, and what does this situation need? And sometimes walking away and just disengaging from it and allowing it to be in its chaos is the golden ticket, right? So that's something which is very, very strong. And if you're having a good family gathering, then yay, amazing. So yeah, so that's kind of what I'm feeling. I've done all my chaos. I think the family's coming back together now, and I'm going to embrace that. And family is not just about blood family, it's about the bigger picture, right? So the tribe is getting reorganized, we're cleaning up, we're leveling up, all of the things, right? Now, to break patterns, how to change your mind. So basically make room for surprising decisions. So this is a really powerful one, and the one that I'm going to finish up now, otherwise I'm going to be here for a whole hour. There's so much. But it's like, I have been getting really, really big messages that like, yeah, okay, it's all about the spiritual work and you do all the energy clearing and all the rest of it. But then it does take a bit of inspired action in your, like divine action in your physical life to change the course of things. So for example, I am, as you know, I'm a one-man band, and I do all my, well, one-woman band actually. I do my tours and I do everything myself, and I love it. And I do my videos, I do my own editing. Nobody does it for me, right? But I've been realizing in the absolute intensity of everybody waking up, I'm finding it really difficult to get back to everybody's emails. So if you've emailed me and I haven't got back to you yet, it's like, yeah, come to Temple, because that's why I created that space, so we can actually all get together and chat, because it's a live room, and that's where we can actually all swap notes. So I invite you to just come to Temple and hang out, and then we can really talk, you know. Emails are amazing and awesome, but we can do better than that. We can connect a little bit deeper than that, you know. So that's why I brought in the Temple. But anyway, what I was saying is I am now looking at this and going, right, how can I work smarter, not harder? Doing, trying to carry, you know, which is perceived as a big workload, or is it though? So I'm now making decisions in my life that I'm going to go and I've decided to go and train in LinkedIn for business. Why not? I've decided to look at different avenues to do different things. I haven't tried that before. Let me sign up for that. So it's taken me to sort of step out of my routine. I could carry on as before and keep burning out, okay? Or I can look at it and just go, okay, I love what I do. I love what I do. I'm definitely here to do this, definitely is aligned, definitely my purpose, but there's new ideas coming in. How can I position myself in a different place physically to bring in fresh energy? Because if you keep doing the same thing and expecting different results, madness, right? So this is the thing. We have to kind of look at maybe one thing or two things in your life over this new moon where you're saying, actually, what could I do different, right? What am I going to physically do to change the trajectory of that? So for example, you could go and join a gym. Could be real surface like that. You could go and study a course like me that's going to help your business and not something you've ever entertained before. It could be that you're letting go of something or someone to change your energy. But either way, it's going to take a little bit of a physical interaction in your life to help move it along. Because remember, this is the Virgo full moon, so it's very much about physical habits, well-being, and you've got to pitch up to your own party to be able to direct it in a different way. So that is what this new moon, and then it's going to take us through into, because then we're going to go into obviously eclipse season and everything like that. So this is the questions I have to ask you, you know what I mean? Like, you know, what have you outgrown? What have you outgrown? What are you done with? Love and blessings? What have you outgrown? Changes in the air, right? So what is your sacrifice? So to be able to truly give an offering on the altar, it takes a little bit of hardship sometimes. Life is not that easy, but you know what? Some things we've got to do, you know? And sacrifice is basically You know, it's an offering on the altar. You know, for example, you know, if you want to lose weight, you've got to cut out sugar. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, if you want to go and buy a house, you've got to set up a savings account and maybe not go out so much. But we don't really well roll like that because we're so abundant. But you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, what are you going to sacrifice that is basically you giving up something that kind of might sting a little, but deep down, you know that the removal of that could possibly be the way forward. You know what I mean? So this goes back to, what have you outgrown? What's your sacrifice? Anyway, I'm going to leave that there, and thank you for listening, and thank you for always watching these videos and just coming. I mean, I am blown away about the amount of you that have emailed me and said, I've plucked up courage to finally reach out to you, Marie, and I am so grateful for that, because I know what it takes to be seen. And whether it's an email or you do what I do or whatever, it's a lot and it's a big thing. And I'm just saying, I see you, I celebrate you, and this is what my work is all about, bringing us out of the woodwork, bringing our light out into the world, and, you know, not being scared to be seen. So, you know, so thank you to all of those that are stepping up and stepping out. On that note, I'm going to sign off, and I'll see you on the next video.